So my name's Rob Gogan. I work for EIM, obviously the parent group of Dulwich, and I've been supporting our schools with rolling out their community portals, which is obviously the product that we're going to walk through today together. To give you access and an overview of what we built, and hopefully give you guys some time to have a play and provide some feedback to the college, so that they can obviously then use your feedback hopefully to make the platform better for our community. Obviously, the first thing you can see here is we've got obviously our login page. The login page obviously works for all users, and as you can see, we've got kind of two distinct logins, one for our parent community and then one for our students and staff. We've obviously built the portal so that you can use your existing credentials to log in to the community portal. And we've also enabled the self-service process within it. So if you ever do forget your login credentials as a user, because I'm also a parent at the school as well, so which is quite helpful. So once you click on the login box, you can obviously then click on the forgot details, and it gives you the ability to obviously reset your password. And also if you've forgotten your username, you can use that process to self-service to be able to log into the new portal as well. So I'm just going to go back to the login page, hopefully. Oh, thank you, computer. Oh, back. Seem like. Oh. So I've managed to break. There we go. Thank you, computer. Okay. So the first thing to try is, if you haven't already, obviously, when you get a moment during the session today, you can follow through the presentation. If you click on the parent login process and just make sure that you can sign into Schoolbox okay. If you can't, just let me know now, and I can support with that process. I'm just going to log in a slightly different way today, just so that I can get access to be able to kind of show you all the features that are available in the system. Okay. What I'm going to do is just jump in and impersonate me as a parent. See. A second while I get there. There we go. Okay. One of the nice things about the Schoolbox platform, that's the manufacturer name that we're using for your MyDulwich, is it allows us to create unique user experiences based on different roles within the school. So we're able to create like a unique user experience for parents, for staff, and also for students. So it gives us kind of a nice flexibility to kind of build out and customize different layouts within the platform. So obviously what you can see here is this is the what we call the parent dashboard. And what I'll do is I'll walk through some of the kind of like the key features that are available as a parent. So straight away we've kind of created a shortcut link to kind of the key information areas within the community portal. So as you can see, we've created one for each division of the school. And a lot of this information obviously comes from parent handbooks and other helpful resources. So we try to kind of centralize as much information as we can within the platform. And again, talks through kind of like the key services, like parents' evenings and these sorts of processes that we as parents would want to use on a day-to-day basis. Let me just move my widget down a little bit. Items around school life, so the day-to-day processes that take place in the school. What we've tried to do is kind of, again, give that kind of succinct key information that we as parents want access to, obviously to support our children while being at the school. We've obviously kept the navigation process at the top. A lot of parents gave feedback just saying it's nice to have navigational links, so you don't have to kind of keep going right back to the beginning of the website and then obviously link through to other sections. They've also spent a lot of time building out the curriculum content coverage area. So what they've got here is obviously a page per subject, just to give you detail around the curriculum that's delivered, the teachers that deliver that curriculum within that school division. So there's a lot of rich information there to be able to support with. And also we've got general information around obviously assessment reporting, so information when those types of reports are published to our community, information around home learning, obviously student wellbeing, and obviously global citizenship as well. So each of these will take you to links out to key information within the community portal. So I'm just going to jump back to our homepage. So one of the key things to mention is each of these components that you see on this dashboard, like these links here, this what I call this advertisement widget, these are all maneuverable within the platform. So, you know, if you think that some of these links shouldn't be where they are, or you think a layout could be better, we do have the flexibility with this platform to kind of move these widgets, as I like to call them, around the page to make, you know, if you think there's something that's more prevalent or more important within the portal. You can see here that we've got this advertisement widget, as I like to call it. So what we've done straight away is obviously as soon as we start onboarding our community onto the new portal, we've created a link out to a guide, which gives us obviously access as a parent to be able to kind of navigate some of the key functionalities of our portal, which we'll be talking about today. We also have the ability to link out to pages both inside our portal, community portal, and also outside. So obviously we can advertise key events that are taking place in the school. And then we also have the ability to then create kind of a sign-up process. So if we wanted parents to sign up for this WISE conference that's coming up in February, then we have the capability to do that. So it's quite a nice, powerful tool to share to our community when kind of highlighting key events that are taking place. If I scroll down, you can see here that I've got this calendar widget. And this is designed at the moment to show the next kind of 5 events that are up and coming for me within our community. One of the nice things about this portal is it has the ability to lock down events to specific target audiences. So you can see here that it's an FOD monthly meeting. So this would have been shared to all of our community. And then you can also see that I've got this year 9 event here. And the reason why I'm seeing this is because I have a student in year 9, my daughter's in year 9, and I also have a daughter in year 11. So it kind of personalizes the calendar events for me where possible. If you want to see more, you can come up to the top menu section, and you've got the core functionality of the calendar here on the top menu bar. If I click on this, it then comes into a kind of far more feature-rich calendar function for me. And I can see obviously all the events that pertain to my children, and then obviously events that have been highlighted to our whole community. You have the ability to kind of filter out specific things if you wanted to. So I can filter out on the groups that I'm members of. So you can see because my children are in these year groups, I'm automatically added to those. So anything that's targeted to those audiences, I could filter out if I wanted to. And obviously also I'm a member of the senior division parent group because my children are associated in those year groups. And then I also have the ability to kind of filter out specific events. So calendar events, when they're added onto our community portal, have categories. And we built out categories for all our schools. So if there's something specific that you wanted to filter out, you have the ability to use this to zone in on specific events that are taking place around our community. You also have the ability to change the view. So you can switch between like a list view, if it's going to do it for me. There we go. And obviously then you've got the functionality to be able to kind of filter down to specific dates if you wish. You've got week view and obviously also day view as well if you want to. The other component that you can also then do, if you want to, is you can use the export tool. And this allows you then to filter down specific events that you're looking for. And then you can then generate a URL on your device, and then that will then sync to the device that you're using for your calendar. So it could be a mobile device or a laptop. And then any events that are added that you're subscribed to will then automatically update in the future automatically to your device. So it makes it a very powerful kind of communications tool for our community. Okay. I'm just going to jump back now to the homepage again. We also have a link to what we call the main school calendar within the community portal. So it gives you that whole kind of year view with the I call the nice kind of magazine layout. So that's there for you as a link out to for our community as well. So the next piece to talk through on our dashboards is this premise of Learning Studio. So we built this for our schools as kind of like our central kind of academic area for our community. So you can see straight away that we've got these links to specific areas for our children. So the first one is obviously the students calendar. So again, this specifically relates to that students calendar. So this idea of the top level calendar is more for you. And then you also have a link to your students calendar specifically, so you can switch between those two modes if you wish to. You also have the ability to view your students' timetable. So this information is synced from our student information system dynamically each day. So you can see obviously all the timetable events that your child will interact with each week with the school. And again, you can switch if you wish to between if you have multiple children, you can switch between them rather than having to go back to the home page to view the Learning Studio widget. We also have this ability. There are some functionality within your community portal that we can't natively embed, and what we do is we provide links out to other sections within our community, and one of them is the incidents and observations. So this is a link out to a page which allows you to view all the achievements that your children have achieved in the school. You probably notice now that you will start you get emails from our information system around achievements that students have achieved. So this basically takes you to a page that gives you an overview of all the content in one area. The next one is called My Child's Task Summary. So this is a custom integration that we built. This will be ready for when we go live at the beginning of March to our whole community. But what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you what that looks like. So My Child's Task Summary is designed to give you as a parent visibility over the homework that is set to your child. This comes predominantly from our Microsoft Teams assignments, and also we have for the older children we also have a manage back assignment process. So what it will do is it will pull in all the homework that's been allocated to your children and give you an overview of like the key descriptions, the assignment detail, and obviously when it's also due. We do have the ability to add additional functionality columns like created date within this. So yeah, this was designed from feedback from parents to be able to have an overview of the homework that our children have been allocated. So that link will take you to this page, which should come in the next couple of weeks for you. The reason why we built the My Child's Task Summary was as an interim process. The reason for that is this portal also has what we call a learning management solution. And that will eventually take over all of the teaching and learning and assignments that are allocated to students at Dulwich. But that's going to take about another 12 months to deploy. So what we've done is built an interim solution to support you with home learning, to give an overview, as I said, of all the homework that our children are receiving. We also have a link out to the assessments and reporting. So again, this will take you to an external page. I click on this link, and what this will do is it will take you to a page which gives you an overview of all the reporting that's allocated to you as a parent on a termly basis. So you'll be able to view all that content in one place for each of your children. We also have a link to the school curriculum overview. So this basically just takes you to the relevant division that your child is a member of. So you can see here, because I have 2 children in the senior school, it takes me to that curriculum section that we spoke about earlier, around all that key information around subject delivery within the senior school. And then the final piece on the Learning Studio is the Student Launchpad. So this is a tool that parents at our other colleges asked for, so that they could view some of the core tools that teachers use to deliver the curriculum within the school. And again, this is customizable per division. So these are some of the tools that obviously our children will come in contact with as part of their learning requirements at Seoul. Okay, so that's an overview of the community, the parent dashboard. The other piece that I wanted to show you was the news headline, but unfortunately there's no news published currently at the moment. So what I'm going to do, so this news widget is very similar to the calendar. So what this will do, this will display somewhere between 5 and 10 of the most recent news publications that the school has created. And again, the school has the ability to customize those to specific years if they wish to. So they could publish it to, say, year 9 and year 11 parents and students of. So they have the ability to tailor the news very specifically to our community, or they can obviously publish it to everybody. What a lot of our other schools do is they have like a weekly bulletin that's published to everybody. And then they'll have like personalized news that's published to each year group as an example. What I'm going to do is just quickly go back to the top menu, because you can see here there's a news section. And there is no news that has been published to me. That's fine. Just bear with me a second. And what I'll do is let's just see if there are. Here we go. Okay. So because there's no live news that have been published to me, what I did was, if I go back to news again, I'll just talk you through the process. There's this function here called News Archive. And what happens is once an article has been, usually within about a week's grace, it'll obviously move off the live feed and it'll move to this News Archive. And one of the nice things about this platform is it automatically creates a nice archive process by year and by month. And then us as users can then come in and view those articles historically. You can see here that it also has the ability to filter on news targeting. So when the school publishes a piece of news, they can create a category for that news. And again, us as consumers, we can come in and it will allow us to specifically filter down on these different news types, or we can see everything in one go. If I just quickly drop into one of these news articles, and the other piece that we can also do as users is at the top corner here, we have the ability to save this article. So if we click on that star, what that will do is then if I go back into my news, we have this personalized area called My Save News, which allows us to curate personalized content. So, you know, if there are some nice photos or there's an article that potentially my daughter could be tagged in, I can come back and then start to kind of create that nice personalized area of news that I would like to save for a future date, which is quite nice. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just stop there for a second, because obviously I know I've talked quite a lot. Are there any questions around any of the content that we've just walked through so far?
Hello. Thanks
Morning.
for teaching. Just one question about the bus. Oh, my voice is like echoing. Bus change
Bus change?
section. Yeah,
Yes.
like for the school bus change section, please.
Okay, so what we've done is if I go back to, so I'm just going to jump into another section now. So what should happen is for our parents, we've got this kind of core services section, which gives, again, that kind of like that key information around us as parents wanting access to on a daily basis. And I can see that the school has created a bus, obviously, section with content on. One thing they haven't done is they haven't provided a link to the bus change process. So that's something that we need as parents to feed back to the school. I'll make a note of that and get that included for you. That's no problems at all. Okay.
Excuse me, which section was it?
Well, so
which icon?
Under services.
Oh, thank you.
And then you can see here we've got these kind of key information areas around buses, lanyards.
Thank you.
So what we want to do is kind of build this out as kind of like a core community area, like the real key information that we need to use as parents to support our children in the day-to-day running of the school. So obviously we've got things around devices, so recommendations around the devices if you want to purchase a device for your students, lanyard requests, the college, So yeah, this is kind of like a centralized kind of key area around. I know they're also going to look to build for school lunches. I know they obviously advertise on a daily basis the menus. So I think they're potentially looking at. Oh, there we go. Is that today's? Oh, awesome. Looks good. Around obviously you get the key menus, uniforms. Again, key information around those for us to be able to obviously purchase uniform information, which is great. And we also have a documents and resources section, which obviously all highlights all the key documentation around policies, safeguarding, so everything that we need as a hopefully as a parent community. One of the things I'd like to ask today for you guys to have a think about is, you know, are there any key pieces of information that potentially we've forgotten, or something that you think is missing from this section? When you get some time, it'd be lovely to get some feedback from you. Yeah, if there's anything that we haven't considered or missed that you think would be really helpful to our community. The other area that I'm just going to jump into is I'll continue to concentrate on the top menu section now, is groups. So groups within this platform is quite interesting because it allows the school to add users into what we call bespoke groups. Now these groups could be designed, like you can see, for Friends of Dulwich, or it could be a group of people that are doing a trip, like a ski trip that's coming up in a couple of weeks. This allows us to build like bespoke pages with information, and then we can also use those groups for very specific targeted communications. One of the interesting pieces is the school can basically allow us as users to sign up to these groups. So you can basically say, if there's a Friends of Dulwich and you want to be updated around information for Friends of Dulwich, we can create these groups as a sign-up process, and then thereafter we'll get any information that's targeted to that group of users, which is quite nice. The next section is called My Information, and this is all around basically the parent personal information within the platform. A lot of this is still in beta mode at the moment, so this will be something that will continue to develop over the next 4 to 8 weeks. So we're building a process at the moment which is in beta mode for allowing parents to update personal information. So if you have a change of address or mobile number or email address, we're going to create an integration process that allows you to dynamically request that change. And then it will be written back into the school information system and automatically updated. We then also plan to roll out further information around like passport and visa information, because obviously I know as a parent we get bombarded with trip information all the time. So the school won't need to request that anymore. All they'll do is just ask us as parents to make sure that our passport and visa information are up to date on the community portal, which would be a really nice feature. We're also building the ability to surface financial information. So relating to invoice history, around trips, transports. So kind of give you a single page to be able to view that information. The other schools that we've rolled out this portal to, a lot of our community have asked for to be able to kind of view that information in one place. So that's something that will be rolled out in the next couple of weeks, again in preparation for the go live. We have this staff directory, and what he says it's not working. That's a good test for us. It's broken. What this will do is this will produce a list of all the staff that work at the school. And it will provide a photo, name, their job role, and also an email address. So it's kind of like a centralized repository for parents to be able to view staff at the school. The other processes that the school is going to consider is the obviously re-enrollment and withdrawal processes. So these will be forms within the community portal, again, to support with those processes when they send out those notifications to the community. Okay. The new section is obviously something that we've already spoken about. And then the college has also made the decision to build out kind of a central area for the Friends of Dulwich. And again, this is kind of quite a rich area that I see being developed over time. some of the things that we could look to do is it has things like forums within the community portal, so you could allow parents to kind of discuss via a medium. We could have like a centralized or bespoke calendar for the Friends of Dulwich, again, so allowing us to kind of view those rich events that are taking place within our community. Okay. The final piece to talk through on the top menu bar is the portal guide. So what we've done is we've tried to think of kind of like all the core resources within the community portal that we would use as a parent. And what we've done is we've built out a user guide for each of those functions. So obviously how to log into the community portal, how to access our children's school reports as an example, how to subscribe obviously to the calendar function that we spoke about earlier from a mobile device or a Mac OS X. So we try to kind of give a flexibility around the process to support with key information around our community. I'm just going to jump back to the homepage. There was a piece of information that I forgot on our Learning Studio. So one thing that you can also do is if you click on one of your children's Learning Studio names, it pulls through to this additional section within the portal. So we can see up here that we've got kind of key information around parent information, student's email address. But I just want to pull you down to also what happens is the portal allows you to view obviously the teachers that our students come in contact with. There is also an additional function here that hasn't been enabled, but you do have the ability, if the school wishes to turn it on, that you can then communicate with the staff member. So as a parent, I can come in, right click on this tile, and it will then provide the email address for that teacher. So that might be a nice feature that we might want to turn on for our parent community. So that's again another question that we can come back to for the school. Okay. Go home. Okay. Are there any other questions around the content that I've spoken about? The next piece I'll move on to is communications. So one of the nice things I think about this community portal is it allows us as parents to be able to decide how we get notifications from MyDulwich. So the way that it works is us as a parent, if we come to the top picture menu, the silhouette, if you click on your silhouette, you'll get this option here for notifications. And then you can see here that it's coming up with a kind of a function page. And what it allows me to do is I can then come in as a user, and I can tailor how I want to receive the notifications from the school. So you can see here that the first thing is receive a calendar notification when someone invites you to an event. So if the school invites me to a specific event, I can obviously decide on the type of notification I receive. So within Schoolbox, it has 3 different types of notifications. So the first one is this instant notification that you can see. And what that does is that sends me an instant notification up here at the top right-hand side. If I expand that, you can see that I don't currently have any notifications. The second step is a mobile push notification. So this works that when as a user, if I download the MyDulwich onto my mobile device, I can then give consent for MyDulwich to send a push notification to that device. And then the third one is email. So I could allow MyDulwich to send me an email when someone invites me to an event. So it's really powerful. It gives me as a user to obviously decide how I want to get my notifications, or I can turn them off completely. So it's very flexible, or I could have all 3 if I wanted to. I'm just going to turn them off. And again, they've enabled it so that I can get an update if a calendar event is changed. So maybe if a calendar event I was interested in changes date or updated information, I can get MyDulwich to send me a notification based on my preferences. And then also probably the important piece is when I receive a news notification. So when someone at the school creates a news article and publishes it to our community, I can decide whether or not to have it as an instant notification or a push notification to my mobile device, or as an email. So it gives me that flexibility, which is great. If I come back to my notifications, what will happen is once it clicks, here we go, I have no, if you click on up here as a user, you'll probably see here that it'll give you an option to install the Progressive web app, which is the mobile equivalent of this website on your device, and also give the option to enable notifications in this menu bar. So you can go through those, enable that on your devices, and then come in and then look at your notification settings if you wish to personalize those. Are there any questions around notifications at all? Okay, perfect. Okay, the last piece that we need to talk through is what I call the left-hand menu bar. So this menu bar allows the college again to kind of customize and create bespoke links to key sections within the portal. Us as users, we can also hairpin it as well. So if we want it to be permanent, we can do. And then us as users, so if we come into the site and there's something that we want, we know we're going to use quite regularly, we can actually bookmark those pages. So if I come into I'm just going to click on the ECA section, and then because my children are in the senior school, I'm going to go into the senior school section, and then I'm going to select ECA Choices Term 2 page. And then what I can then do as a user, if I come in, I can click on these three dots at the top right hand side, and then I can click on Add to my links. And then what that will do, it should then create a permanent link on my short menu bar as a quick link. So if there are pages within the community portal that you use on a regular basis, you can build up your own personalized link to, which is quite nice. Okay. I'm just going to click on the back on the home. Okay, I'm just going to stop there for a minute and just give you guys some time to maybe have a think. And if you've got any questions or any feedback around obviously the content that we've covered this morning. Just making sure there's nothing else that I've forgotten. Actually, the search bar is very powerful. This is quite new to Schoolbox. So what you can do is you can search for keywords, and what it allows you to do, I'm just going to test it. So I'm just going to go into the news archive again, and I'm just going to search on a keyword. So if I put in leadership, search. Cool. Okay. So the search bar allows you to it will do a detailed index search on any keywords that you look for. And you can filter on dates, and then you can also filter on different types of information. So you could filter down to blogs, news. So if I click on news, it should then filter through to that specific, student leadership conference that I was expecting it to pull through. So yeah, if you're looking for a very specific news article or piece of information within MyDulwich, it's a very, very great tool to kind of access that information quite quickly. And the last piece just to highlight is on the bottom menu bar, you'll see this option here called support and feedback. So if you ever have any issues with the site, or if you want to provide some feedback around some content or information that you'd like to see be added, you can use this form, and then this will send a notification back to the school, and then obviously they'll reach out with any additional information or support that you may need, or around the feedback that you provide. Okay, I will stop sharing my screen because obviously I'm aware that I've spoken for a very long time. But yeah, that's a whistle-stop tour of obviously our MyDulwich. I'd just obviously like to say thank you for taking the time to be here today, and obviously being part of our beta testers. I think what we'd like to do maybe is potentially reach out early next week if you have some time to kind of have a walk through the portal. And if there's any feedback, please do take the time to reach out to us. And we'd love to, we'd love your feedback to see if we can try and make it an even better resource for our community.